Everyone, just hanging out with St. Joseph here and little baby Jesus. And just wanted to give a quick meditation that I hope could be helpful. I think one of the things that can prevent faith from taking its full effect in us is we don't let it get into our guts. And so I want to start focusing on some entryways to the guts. And maybe this little meditation can be a start, and we'll pick up more later. But if you can just go kind of in your mind or in your Bible to the scene of the calling of Jesus on the Sea of Galilee, calling the apostles. And again, to get it into our guts, we got to get into the guts and the feeling of the story. I remember actually being on the Sea of Galilee, and it was so interesting to me because this is where this scene happened. But it's not like it's marked off there or there's like a movie set or anything like you almost expect when you imagine the scene. It's just this regular beach there, this kind of small little lake, I guess, really more than a sea. But you go out there, and we were there like a Saturday morning, and it's pretty quiet, and you look around, and there's just a few guys out there fishing and people kind of walking around, and you think, well, this might be like almost exactly how it was back then. I mean, maybe a bit busier, but it's like a few people out there, and then the apostles are just out there fishing. And you kind of see the way that you guys fish. They're, kind of just like lackadaisical and like not expecting a whole lot. It's probably why fishermen make good disciples. It's like they're really good at being disappointed. Like they're just used to it again and again, trying and getting nothing. That's a big part of discipleship, being able to put up with that, I feel like. But so they're there on this regular day, regular work day, so to speak. And then Jesus just shows up, and he shows up and calls them. Hey, come with me, come follow me. Or hey, how about you drop your life, drop your profession, and let's start something new. So obviously much could be said about that, but the important focus here is, okay, imagine first you're just on that beach. There you are, and the Lord shows up and gives you this call. So then what's it going to take to respond to that? Think about it, really, what the feelings would be there. Okay, what does this mean? How do I leave this? What am I going to do? What's this all going to look like? Where are we going to go? And then you start, following Jesus. Even those first few days, you can imagine, boy, this is amazing because you're seeing miracles and you're hearing him preach these words that's setting your heart on fire. But also all the new fear, and as things start to stir up in the drama, just imagine kind of some of that on your own. Walk your way through that. What were some of those human feelings and realities that the disciples would have went through? Okay, that's the first stage of the meditation, is to get into the guts of the thing, get some of that feeling going, and imagine some of the scenarios, in your own ways. And let the Lord guide you in that. But then after that, kind of take that meditation and then transport it into you, like this morning or where you find yourself right now. There you are, working away or doing whatever, watching the TV, or I don't know, typing away, okay. And like there Jesus is, just shows up, he walks through your bedroom door or whatever, your office door. Okay. And then he says, let's go. And so I don't necessarily want us to think of, okay, I'm going to leave my house and leave my family now and go to do something new. But imagine him entering into your exact scenario and saying, okay, I've got work for this scenario, this place, your house, your family, your life, all your problems. I've got something to do with this. I want to do something with this. I've got a plan for this exact scenario for you. And let that sink in a little bit. And kind of to go into that meditation, again, not leaving that scenario behind, but rather entering with Jesus into that and letting him lead. As I was kind of thinking about this, the first thing I thought of is, I was here in the church praying. Imagine Jesus just walking in. And the first kind of movement in my heart was, like, thank God you're here. Oh my gosh, you're here. Again, this is the disciples. Whenever Jesus was around, they were so relieved. They felt at peace. They just knew as long as Jesus was here, we'll be okay. That's why they were so afraid of him leaving on the road to Emmaus. No, Lord, please don't go. Stay with us. We can't bear losing your presence. So my first kind of interior response and movement was, thank God you're here. And that's a great place just to start or stop. Jesus shows up and, oh my gosh, you're here. Oh, I've been wanting you. I've been waiting for you. I've been needing you. And this changes everything. Just immediately doing away with that imaginary aloneness that without even knowing it, we were sitting in. I think that's enough right there. You could just stop right there. But go just a little bit further and say, okay, well, what does that mean? And you don't have to necessarily even try to imagine what Jesus would be doing in your life. You can just kind of like rest in that idea of he is here and he does want to be doing something. And even if we stop at not knowing at all what that is at this moment, it's enough just to refigure our scenario with him in it. And that can be a great starting point just going forward and praying into where we're at. It's like, oh, Jesus, you actually are here. And oh, you actually are involved in what's going on, and you're aware of all the different parts and pieces, and you have something you want to do with it. That doesn't just mean you dropping me a plan from heaven and say, here's what you need to do. It means Jesus wanting to be a part of it, present in it with me, with you. So again, I think take some of, your interior feelings, imagine that so that it becomes real for you, and pay attention to what it is that jumps out to you. Pay attention to what you're wanting from the Lord in that moment. What would be nice? What is it you're needing from him? And again, allowing this to kind of get a bit more into you, and then let God start working in some of those places where maybe he's been absent. And it can be a good entryway into what I think we need to be doing, which is engaging our life with God, or engaging God with our life right where we're at, and letting it be real and letting it have actual effect in our life.